Pemba. Okay, hello, here we are. I'm Ferry and here we are in Quinta in Portugal. People ask us questions about the desert. They ask us, where is the desert? Because we thought you were greening the desert and doing these kind of things, but we see very nice green countryside. Yeah, where is the desert? For us it is a land of learning. And here is Dr. Crouch. He's a permaculture teacher and yeah, he liked to give a comment.
Yeah, so right now in the tail end of winter of this Mediterranean climate in coastal Portugal and Alentejo, the landscape is very green. Lots of photosynthetic energy is taking place and lots of really nice energy is being converted. But the problem is in just a few months the rain will end and we will have several months of lack of rain. It might be 3 months, it might be 5 months, it might be 7 months. We never really know. So right now everything looks green, but the future of this landscape in just a few months is completely brown. The soil's cracking, only the toughest weeds surviving, and in a few protected valleys or under the trees do we see life. So like under this cork oak tree we start to see some really good soil being built, but where the animals have been grazing, where chemicals have been applied, where synthetic fertilizers have been used, this is absent because the absence of soil life is there.
Maybe we can show it. Maybe we can go there to the erosion gully there and show a bit of the state of the land and the soil, how it is.
So yeah, these erosion gullies point out a weakened hydrological cycle. So these are scars in the landscapes. They're open wounds for this land, which is bleeding. And because the ground is unreceptive, because of overgrazing, because of the use of chemicals, because of plowing,
Compaction.
this compaction has taken place and the lack of soil biology is there to facilitate the infiltration process. So what we're planning is to reduce the compaction through opening up the soil through the keyline plow. It's a subsoil plow. It's not a mold board plow that does this to the soil. It's not a rotavator that does this to the soil, which are both very damaging to fungal counts. But instead open a channel so air can enter and so water can enter and so root depth can increase. When that root depth increases, then your plants are going to be able to tap into more moisture, more nutrients, which is going to allow them to photosynthesize for longer. So as they photosynthesize, they're going to be pumping sugars into their root zones to feed the microorganisms, which is going to be how carbon is stored in the soil. And our organic matter percentage is going to go up because we're going to rotate animals through the system and do energy cycling with animals in a holistic way, a pattern-based way, more like the roaming bison of North America, where there's a lot of animal impact in one day, but it's not overgrazing and it's not undergrazing. So the plants will have time to rest and come up to their appropriate height, and then the cows will be rotated in once more. So with keyline rotational grazing, compost tea being applied when we do the keyline plowing, which is basically just putting all the good microbiology back out, and also with reforestation in your appropriate areas, so that we begin to protect the valleys, so that we begin to protect the ridge tops. And yeah, we're going to use a mixture of water harvesting features, dams, swales, terracing, contour bench terraces. So for this important function of infiltrating water, we're going to use multiple different elements. And this land is going to turn from green only in the winter to green also in the summer. An example of an erosion gully forming, and there's a very large catchment area above here that the earth isn't receiving the water. Even though it's raining lots this year, it's just not capable.
Too compacted. It's too
compacted.
Fucked up.
There's not
sorry
enough,
for the word.
there's not enough organic matter percentage to retain the moisture. So you're seeing sort of the landscape bleeding right now, and this being like almost like an artery point that's been hit, where the land is starting to really erode, and this zipper effect of it moving up the hill to protect itself. Water is just doing this to form the natural run riffle pool.
Actually, it looks like a nice little waterfall, but what we have here is just serious erosion.
Exactly.
Because the land is too compacted, the land cannot handle the water, and yeah, you get this erosion gully. And yeah, so I'm very curious how this spot will look like within a few years.
Well, it's got a perfect open, broad valley, very, very special feature here, that with the correct placement of keyline dams, which there's this obvious one here with the cork tree,
yeah,
we're going to be able to flood irrigate once a month, and this will retain forage all year round. Whereas normally in the middle of the summer it would be a concrete pad with
concrete desert. It's just it's all dead. So it looks like a very nice piece of land, nice and green, but yeah, this is in seriously damaged landscape. Can we call it?
Yes.
Like that.
And what you're
seriously damaged.
The darker brown color mixed with this silverish brown is the star thistle, which is a deep taproot, or trying to bring up minerals and reduce the compaction. But it's actually poisonous to cattle, which is a direct indication that this land does not want cattle on it right now. But through the keyline sequence, through the compost tea, through the rotational grazing, and the reforestation in the specific areas that this land dictates, those weeds will simply disappear, and the lush grasses and the biodiversity of a savanna grasslands type of system will reappear.
Okay, nice. So within a few years we're gonna stand here again and see how it looks like. Nice.